Alright, hello. The Simpsons is quite possibly the most famous TV show of all time, spanning over 30 years of dysfunction and chaos. It's widely known that the golden era was between seasons 2 through to 8. But why does series 1 not get included in that golden era? I thought I'd rewatch every episode from the first season to see the high points and the low points. The characters are most certainly not fully developed yet, and the animation, while being charming, is noticeably very janky. With that being said, this is every episode from season 1 of The Simpsons, ranked worst to best, starting with number 13.
You're not as stupid as you look, or sound, or our best testing indicates. You've got the job.
One episode had to be bottom, and for me, it's Homer's Odyssey. Quite a dark episode. Homer contemplates committing suicide after being fired from his job at the nuclear plant. It seems very out of character for Homer, who over the years gets fired way more times than I have hot meals.
I smashed open my little boy's piggy bank, and for what? A few measly cents. Not even enough to buy one beer. Wait a minute, let me count, make sure. Not even close.
But it's season 1 after all, where characters have different voices, their personalities are not quite developed, and some even appear with different skin tones. I don't really enjoy Homer being depressed, or the idea this would lead to him thinking killing himself is the only option. This leads to a plot line of him saving his family from a speeding truck. The story kind of fizzles out from there. Homer becomes obsessed with safety and is hired back at the plant as head of safety. There isn't many laughs to be had in this episode. The biggest laugh I got was from this crowd scene with some very janky looking characters.
Son, why are you wasting your time with this sleazy trash?
Sorry, Dad.
Wait till I show the guys at work this little doozy.
Homer's night out is an odd one for me. The first half is decent. Plenty of great gags with Bart and his spy camera. You can tell by this point in the series, the episodes are starting to feel much more polished. However, the second half is much weaker. It feels cruel to Homer, who is thrown out of the house by Marge, after Bart takes a photo of him with an exotic dancer at a bachelor party.
Someone must have left the porch light on. Hey, that's rough, pal. Hello, Marge. You left your damn porch light on. Bernie! Homer's not made of money, you know.
It doesn't really feel like Homer has done too much wrong, really. You get scenes of him trying his best to make things right, but I don't know, I never quite gelled with this episode or its conclusion.
I've murdered us all! I've murdered us all! I've murdered us all! Shut out! Shut out! Shut out! Don't! Don't!
Just missing out on the top 10 is Call of The Simpsons, the first adventure episode in the series. Homer is jealous of Flanders' new RV, already showing his competitive nature against his neighbour Reno.
Hey, Flanders! Look what I got!
Oh, she's a beaut. Hey, congratulations, Simpson. I'm sure you'll have loads of fun.
Jealous.
It's nice to see the family get out of their comfort zones and into the wild.
Ooh. Aha! Got him!
There are plenty of great character building moments. And Maggie even gets her moment to shine, which is almost unbearably cute. There are some really good jokes in this one, but overall I think it missed a lot of potential. Homer getting mistaken for Bigfoot is certainly a wacky way to end the episode, if not a bit underwhelming. Still a solid episode in what is quite a bumpy first season.
Hey, Barney, am I a pig? You're no more of a pig than I am! Oh, no!
I know there are some people out there that really do not like this episode. It has some of the most basic backgrounds. Even the couch gag is not really much of a gag. They just sit on the sofa normally. Originally this was going to be the first episode, but it was pulled back after it came back from the animation studio looking absolutely terrible. It's really notable how different this episode looks compared to other ones in Season 1. I like the menacing babysitter bandit. She was generally quite terrifying.
Mom lets us watch whatever the hell we want.
I said you're gonna watch this tape, and you're gonna do what I say, or I'm gonna do something to you.
And I don't know what that is, because everybody has always done what I say.
It's also another Homer and Marge marriage crisis episode, which is a running theme in Season 1. I think by this point it was already getting a little bit tired. This episode also reuses the prank phone call gag 3 times. Maybe to fill time, it does seem a bit excessive.
Where's he going?
Probably to get the old man his pipe and slippers.
What I quite like about Season 1 basic storylines, there doesn't tend to be an A and B plot. Any episode that features Mr. Burns tends to get some great jokes in, and this is no exception.
Please get off my property until next year. I suggest you don't dawdle. The hounds will be released in 10 minutes.
While at the picnic, Marge gets drunk, and the children misbehave, leading Homer to be embarrassed by his family. He even goes so far as to pawn in the TV, so he can afford counselling. An act that is so out of place for Homer. It would be like Boris Johnson making a good decision. It just doesn't happen. During their counselling, there's some great visuals with the electric shocks. And I love how the episode ends with them being happy just to get back the TV and their refund.
We don't want your mother to see you crying.
Oh, man.
Here, let me help you dry those tears.
The early seasons really loved Bart. He became the breakout star for the first 2 seasons, getting many episodes that feature him heavily, and this is basically a Bart-only episode. It introduces Nelson Muntz, so it's already in my good books.
Hey look, they got food at this thing. Here's one for the road, dude.
I think it's sweet that Bart defends and protects Lisa after she is bullied by one of Nelson's minions. It's got an important story to do with bullying, even if the morals are a little bit all over the place. Although to be fair to Homer, he is right. Nobody wants to be hit in the family jewels. The dream sequence visuals are some of the best that Season 1 has to offer. This episode has some decent gags as well.
You know, it's such a beautiful morning. I think I'll take a little stroll around the block.
I think he forgot, Mom.
What? A Season 1 episode where Marge and Homer are having a marriage crisis? I am shocked. Shocked! Well, not that shocked. Maybe it's just me, but I tend to enjoy those plot lines less than others. This is actually the highest ranked marriage crisis episode in this video. Homer's selfishness in him getting a bowling ball for Marge's birthday has some of the best dialogue. Oh, Homer, how could you forget your wife's birthday?
And here's the pitch. Dad, you didn't even say ouch.
Oh, sorry. Ouch.
This leads to Marge wanting to make sure she uses the bowling ball just to spite Homer. While there, she comes across the smooth-talking Jacques. Now, I don't think anyone would ever believe she'd leave Homer, but you start to see how it affects the family, with Bart and Lisa being brought into the mix. You can see how she'd be swept away with Jacques. Albert Brooks does a great performance, but Homer is certainly the man for Marge.
I have already found Americans to be most trusting. Although officially I am required to hate you, I want you to know I do not feel it in my heart.
You know how I mentioned that Season 1 loved Bart? Well, he does get it pretty rough in this plotline, even if he is the star of the episode. After his skateboard injures Homer, and a prank at school leaves the unusually nice Agnes Skinner with a very wet bottom, it's decided he should join the foreign exchange program and move to France for 3 months. mostly just to get him out of Homer and Skinner's hair. Well, with what little hair Homer has. However, Bart's trip turns into a nightmare, where he gets exploited by two French winemakers, who mistreat him, barely feed him, and don't even give him a proper bed to sleep in. We really start to feel sorry for Bart, a misunderstood kid who loves a prank, but nobody deserves to drink wine laced with antifreeze.
You grab the grape between your thumb and forefinger, and gently twist it off, and wrap it in the bucket. Now you do it. Very good. Now, do it 1,000,000 times.
Meanwhile, the Simpsons get Adil, a student from Albania. I love how Homer is completely blinded by Adil's obvious attempts to gain nuclear power secrets, just because he is happy that Bart is not around.
My son a genius? How does it happen?
Well, genius-level intelligence is usually the result of heredity and environment. Although in some cases it's a total mystery.
Bart the Genius will not win any awards for good looks. It has the same problems that plague some Enchanted evening. However, the story is what makes this episode stand out. Bart has some great character development.
What are you looking at, Bart? Are those naughty dogs back again?
After he cheats on his test, he is sent to a school for gifted children. It's the typical fish out of water episode. We get great moments between Bart and Homer throughout the episode. From anger when Bart cheats at Scrabble, to love when Homer is proud of his son, and then back to anger when he finds out Bart cheated on the test. It really feels so down to earth. This could only happen in season 1.
Do you like children? What do you mean? All the time? Even when they're nuts? I certainly do. Welcome aboard, Simpson.
Back where it all began, December the 17th, 1989, the night that changed TV forever, as we got introduced to The Simpsons. It's a must-watch for me every Christmas season. Not many shows start off with a Christmas special. It does a great job in highlighting each of the Simpson characters. It shows us that along the way there will be money issues, as Homer struggles to pay for gifts, even going so far as to get an extra job as a mall Santa, which has some great moments.
And what would you like, little boy?
You're not really Santa, Tubby.
Why, you little...
No, Homer. If such an emergency arises, you just tell them Santa's very busy this time of year, and you're one of his helpers.
Oh, I do that one too.
But in the end, we do get a heartwarming ending, when Santa's little helper is brought back home, the perfect present for the family.
How can we sleep at night when there's so much suffering in the world?
Well, come on, Lisa, ride the Homer horsey. Giddy up, whee!
The only true spotlight episode for Lisa in the first series, and it's a great one. It tackles the important issue of depression, how Lisa is just sad for no reason. Marge has some pretty terrible advice, as she was taught no matter what, just to put a big smile and pretend things are okay. Luckily, she reverses this decision. It's a charming episode, with a nice slow pace, that works very well in season 1. It's got great character interactions and moments, that I fear in later seasons would be filled with as many topical references and cutaway jokes as possible.
Very nice, very nice. I once ruptured myself doing that.
We do get a rather forgettable B-plot, as Bart and Homer play a boxing game, which brings the episode down the list slightly. It's fine, but it doesn't really add too much.
How long will this story take?
About 23 minutes and 5 seconds.
It's too long.
23:05. Well, all right, go ahead.
A story told in flashbacks is not always my favourite way for an episode to go, as it kind of does ruin how this episode will end. But nevertheless, this is still a great episode. It's got laughs, it's got great world building and character development, and it's even got this guy.
Show a little respect, you insolent little thugs.
It shows us how everyone in the town feels about an issue, and allows us to see the perspective and workings of Springfield. we see that although Bart is easily persuaded into doing bad acts, deep down he does have a conscience, and feels regret for his actions. Sometimes you just can't win with teenagers. The story in this one just flows really well. Each act works, but there's one episode I think slightly tops it.
Well, if the crime is making me laugh, they're all guilty.
No, which one is the robber?
Oh, definitely number...
Simpson! Simpson!
4.
Krusty Gets Busted isn't at number 1. It just feels different to any other episode in Season 1. You can tell it was one of the last ones to be written and made. It would fit right into Season 2 easily. The animation and character writing is much more developed than any other episode. We of course get a great performance from Kelsey Grammer as Sideshow Bob, one of my favourite reoccurring characters in the entire show. We also get a trademark court scene, which would become a staple of the series. One of my favourite moments from Season 1 is Homer just watching himself on the CCTV.
Hurry, pal.
We get great mystery as we slowly find out Krusty was framed for the robbery. We get clues scattered throughout the episode, and it's not clear straight away what has occurred. Just a top-notch Simpsons episode, and definitely deserves the number 1 spot. So there we go. That was Season 1 of The Simpsons. A great base to build on in the future. Some rocky moments and episodes, but great down-to-earth characters and jokes. I always felt it was harsh not to include this in the golden age of The Simpsons, but I can see why people don't look too fondly back on Season 1. Let me know your favourite episodes and moments from Season 1. Do you agree with my ranking? Feel free to post your thoughts in the comments. But for now, take care and leave me alone.